So because I like to keep these videos a little bit educational for all the classrooms, colleges out there, Hamburger University perhaps, here's a little tutorial. Went down to the general store, the Ocals were telling me, here's how you wear your hat in Vermont. Foam dome high, brim away from the sky. So it's barely hanging onto your skull. Yeehaw! Welcome to yet another edition of Tiny Yellow House. I'm your host, Dustin Diedricksen. This time around, we've headed up to the northern woods of Vermont, way up yonder, to feature a cabin that both myself and my brother have built. Here we are on the interior of the cabin. My brother here, Dustin, we built this cabin. Well, we purchased the land back in 2000, and from 2001 to the present time, which is 2010, just in case, we've been working on this here and there on weekends. No power tools, no running water, which has made things quite interesting. It's a plywood exterior, which we waterproof all the time. Some of the wood's been recycled, especially on an addition we're building out back. Aside from this 10 by 10 room here, the additions could be 12 by 16, and at some point we'll connect the two cabin sides in kind of a shotgun shack as we go along. And we'll go in this direction. We'll put up a one-pitch roof, or we'll throw some windows here and retrofit a window there. It's all kind of just free-form building to a certain extent. We didn't use any power tools until we got to some of the plywood cutting, because to cut an 8-foot run and keep it straight with a handsaw is a lot of work, takes forever and close to impossible. So we brought in a generator for that. But a lot of this was all hand cut. A lot of the wood was we bought from a couple mills in the Northeast Kingdom up here, where you can actually haggle for the wood. You can pick out some second and third grade stuff. There's a good deal of salvage materials here in this cabin, from the storm windows to the front door to, well, the furniture we're on. It's all like hand-me-downs, or curb-culled, as I've coined the term. Curb-culled materials, because it is kind of just a getaway shack, so you don't want to blow a lot of money on the helicopter landing pad, the 5 jacuzzis, and the billiards room, because it just doesn't make any sense. When it comes to small spaces, space efficiency is the key here. We've doubled up a lot of things. For instance, the stairway here doubles up as a seat to the fold-out table. I have a table here, a cedar table I made out of free mill scraps that came out kind of neat. The top flips open here, as you see, and contains nothing but the bare essentials. We have built-in shelves all over. With a small space like this, you have to have lots and lots of shelving, as all you people out there who have tiny houses do know. It's just about keeping things very simple. So here we are on the exterior of the cabin again. No, not really. We got all stored junk up here. This is the loft. I call it the penthouse of discarded, unwanted carpets. These are true 2x6 white cedar roof rafters here that we had purchased at a local mill here. In total, $40. They're 16-foot length, so we had leftovers here. The scraps have been used, of course. Yeah, everything gets used. Just like hot dogs. We stand by the hot dog theory. We another way we kind of not cut corners but kept costs down was to buy the unfinished wood with the rough edges. So this is all rough cut cedar. So this is 1x8, 1x5 decking here for the floor. Yeah, I mean the only disadvantage is if you're sleeping up here, have a nightmare, and suddenly sit up. You're going to have a bunch of, aside from head-butting the ceiling, you have about 10, 20 splinters in your forehead. That stinks, but hey, you got to live with it. On a further note in terms of space efficiency, we have kind of a galley boat-style staircase here we built out of cedar. It's kind of one of those motivators, like, you better stay thin enough to get up in the loft or you're letting go. So we kind of had that in mind with the design. No, it just came down to the rafter spacing. It was an afterthought. We could have made it wider, but we can fit through, so it works well enough, and it kind of saves on flooring space up in the loft. And all the 5.5-foot windows in the loft, again, all recycled storm windows that were being thrown out, and they kind of give you a nice view of the woods and the mountains. There's a chair we put up there as well, which my grandfather's chair, years and years ago, his favorite armchair, but it was so big that we actually couldn't fit it through the rafter spacings we had and the size windows. We realized this ahead of time, so we built it in first, then built the cabin around the chair. So if we ever want to get rid of the chair for whatever reason, we have to chainsaw it in half, which I hope we never have to do. One of the best parts about having a backwoods cabin up here in Vermont is just a chance to kind of get away. We live near Boston. It's pretty hectic. It's sometimes just a pain in the butt to live near the city, as much as I love the area. But you come up here, it's so quiet, you can see all the stars. I mean, the stars almost talk to you, they're so bright. And there's wildlife everywhere. At night, we're having our campfires out there, which is just so much fun. We have friends come up here all the time. I mean, it's just a different soundscape as compared to living near Boston, where you just hear the honking of horns and the uttering of expletives.
Stop till all the work is done. Here's to all them fishing boats and all them boys that love to
Don't give up.
Here's to the island in the big blue sea.
So that wraps up this edition of Tiny Yellow House, as this is cutting into my squirrel hunting, axe throwing, and bear wrestling time here in Vermont. We'll catch you next time when we have the funds from recycling cans to be able to film another episode, and or slash if I actually show up to the shoot. Stranger things have happened. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. See ya.